January 7th, 1943, as someone stepped into room number 3327 of a New York hotel, their eyes fell upon the lifeless body of an 86-year-old elderly man. This body belonged to no ordinary person. It was the body of Nikola Tesla, the most influential scientist, engineer, and inventor of the 20th century. But as shocking as it was to find the corpse of a world-renowned scientist, what was even more shocking was that Nikola Tesla had been living there for the past 6 years without a single friend, without a single loved one. So what was the reason that today, Nikola Tesla, one of the discovering fathers of science, spent the final days of his life entirely alone in a hotel room with only a bird to talk to? How did Tesla end up in such a helpless situation? After all, he was once a millionaire scientist. How did such extreme poverty enter his life? Today, in this video, I will answer all of these mysterious questions. The title is The Secrets of Nikola Tesla. On a dark night in 1856, amidst the fierce roar of lightning, a child cried for the first time in the village of Smiljan, Croatia. And that very child was the man who would future-proof the world and stun everyone with his inventions. He was Nikola Tesla. But making his name known across the entire world was anything but easy for him, because at the time of his birth, his midwife had said, "This child is not a blessing from God, but a curse. He has come into this world to spread darkness." But as they say, no one knows a child better than his mother. So, brushing aside the words of the world and the midwife, Nikola's mother said with absolute faith, "No, he will be a child of light." To know how deep this mother's faith was and how long it lasted, we have to go back to Nikola Tesla's childhood. Nikola's parents had 3 other daughters and an older son. Nikola shared an immense, deep bond of love with this older brother. The 2 brothers did everything together, roaming around and horse riding. But that bond was shattered when, at just 5 years old, his brother died after falling from a horse. This incident changed everything for Tesla. The shock of his brother's death was so profound that he could never forget it throughout his entire life. In his own biography, he wrote about how the scene of his brother's death would flash before his eyes his whole life, reminding him of that horrific day. And it was because of losing his brother that Nikola had to suffer from lifelong loneliness. This mindset of Nikola also caused him personal pain. Not only that, but Nikola believed his parents loved his brother more than him. And after his brother's death, they stopped paying attention to Nikola altogether. Now, if I talk about his education, it wouldn't be wrong to say that it was the dream of studying engineering that brought Nikola Tesla back from the brink of death. Nikola was the best student in his school, and the full credit for this goes to his mother, Nikola Tesla, who, despite being a homemaker, could easily memorize long, epic poems. Because of this photographic memory inherited from his mother, Tesla learned 9 languages at a young age. Not only that, but unlike other kids, he finished a 4-year school program in just 3 years. But after returning home upon completing his 3 years of study, Nikola Tesla contracted cholera. During this time, one day, Nikola's father stroked his head and said, "I have already lost 1 son. I don't want to lose the second." After that, his father also spoke about Nikola recovering and working alongside him. But his condition grew worse day by day. It felt as if death was hovering over his head, ready to take him away from this world at any moment. Shortly after, his condition became so critical that the doctor told Nikola's father, "From a medical standpoint, it is now difficult to save Nikola." But Nikola's father knew his son still had his whole life ahead of him, so looking at Nikola lying in bed, he said, "You cannot leave like this." And at that exact moment, when Nikola couldn't even sit up on his own, he spoke to his father in a broken voice, asking to be allowed to study engineering. His father replied, "If that's what you want, I will get you admitted to the best engineering school." Hearing these words, the fading spark of Nikola's life reignited. A faint smile appeared on his face. It was as if this single promise gave him the hope to live. Later, while studying at the Polytechnic College in Austria, he left college due to a dispute with a professor, and according to some biographies, also due to a drinking habit. But for those who think you need a degree to make a name for yourself in the world, Tesla proved them wrong, because Tesla knew very well that to be successful, you don't need a degree. You need knowledge and skills.
So Tesla started his career as a draftsman at the Budapest Telephone Exchange in Hungary, which was under Thomas Edison's company. The manager of that company liked Tesla's work so much that he was sent to the Edison Machine Works company in America.
It was there that Tesla and Edison met for the first time. Everything was going fine up to this point. But when Tesla proposed his AC induction motor design to Edison, Edison rejected it, because Edison himself worked with DC, direct current. Edison told Tesla if he could improve the DC design, he would give him $50,000. A few months later, Tesla did exactly that and went to Edison. But Edison laughed it off and said, "You don't understand our American humor." Not only that, Edison offered Tesla a mere $10 raise to keep working. Hearing this, Tesla walked out and left Edison's company. This marked the beginning of the famous War of the Currents, AC versus DC. Tesla had no money, so in 1887, along with Alfred Brown and New York attorney Charles Peck, he founded the Tesla Electric Company. The very next year, he built a new model of the AC induction motor and presented it to the world, through which people realized that electricity could be used not just to light bulbs, but to run heavy machinery and equipment as well. Big investors like George Westinghouse helped him with this futuristic invention. But before this could take off, Thomas Edison, in order to prove the commercial viability of his DC and to project Tesla's AC as dangerous, publicly electrocuted and killed dogs, horses, and even an elephant. The surprising thing is, despite all of this, AC became a commercial success and Tesla gained immense fame. But was this Tesla's only achievement? No. The X-rays used in today's medical field and the radio waves used in communication, Tesla has a connection to them as well. You might see on Google, Wilhelm Röntgen won the Nobel Prize in 1901 for discovering X-rays, but Tesla had already discovered invisible radiation in 1894 and had taken images on film with it. However, when his New York lab burned down in March 1895, no proof of that data remained. Not only that, the Nobel Prize given to Marconi for the radio communication system was also snatched away from Tesla's hands, because Tesla had given its preliminary demonstration in 1893 and filed a patent in 1897. But this truth came to light only in 1943, right after Tesla's death. The internet, which allows me to speak in this video and allows you to listen to it, traces its roots back to Tesla. Tesla was the first to present the concept of the internet during an interview with Collier's magazine back in 1926. If his wireless communication model hadn't been tested, perhaps you wouldn't even be able to watch this video today. So despite having so many inventions, why didn't Tesla get the credit? According to a journal named G, Tesla was always so deeply engrossed in his invention work, sleeping for only 2 hours, that he never patented many of his inventions. Taking advantage of this, other scientists tested the same things separately and got them patented. Furthermore, investors in Tesla's radio transmission project failed to see enough profit margins, which led them to stop funding the rest of his inventions. In this way, from 1901 onwards, Tesla began facing severe financial crises. Added to this was mental depression, and he spent the final years of his life in room number 3327 on the 33rd floor of the New Yorker Hotel in New York City, alone, without talking to any human, talking only to a pigeon. His condition was so bad that he couldn't even afford the rent for the hotel he was staying in. Amidst this misery, one of the world's most brilliant and unique inventors took his last breath on January 7th, 1943, and bid farewell to this world. Even though Nikola Tesla's achievements were not recognized during his lifetime, the world realized the importance of his inventions and predictions long after his death. If you want to hear about Tesla's greatness and intelligence from the mouth of an expert, listen to the words of the great 20th century physicist Albert Einstein. Once, a journalist asked Einstein, "How does it feel to be the smartest man in the world?" Einstein replied, "I don't know, go ask Tesla." And in all the technological advancements we are seeing in the 21st century, Nikola Tesla's contribution is incredibly vital. And that's why I leave you with a question. Why is Elon Musk's electric car company named Tesla Motors? What is its connection to Tesla? Let me know down below in the comments section. And if you learned something new from this video, don't forget to leave a like. If you're new to this channel, subscribe right now, because you won't find such interesting and knowledgeable videos anywhere else. Keep growing.